The Planning Committee for the Great 1963 March on Washington scheduled no women speakers during the entire 3-hour program. But the planners did invite women to sing. Josephine Baker, Marian Anderson, and finally, Mahalia Jackson. A cappella, Mahalia Jackson sang a spiritual born of the slave experience as people in the crowd cried. This is why Mahalia Jackson was on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial behind Dr. King when he rose to speak 2.5 hours into the program. The plan was for Martin Luther King to speak for 8 minutes. He had written a manuscript and he stuck to the text for 12 minutes. It was a good but not a great sermon. Standing behind him, Mahalia Jackson sensed this. She had heard him give another sermon on other occasions, and she knew its power. By late 1963, the phrase, "I have a dream," had become a fixture in sermons he frequently gave as he traveled the United States. So Mahalia Jackson shouted, "Tell him about the dream, Martin." Reverend King heard her and followed her advice. At that moment, he left his prepared manuscript behind and he improvised the next section of the speech, about 5 minutes. Let's listen.
At this time, I have the honor to present to you the moral leader of our nation. I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. I'm happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Years ago, a great American whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as the red beacon light approached the millions of Negro slaves who had been killed in the flames of withering injustice. It came at the glorious daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity.
So that was the beginning. Now we go to the 12-minute part.
I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face difficulties one day, this nation will rise up, live up to its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with this governor having his lips dripping with the words of exposition and notification, one day I said in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the broken hearts will be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the thing that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to view out the mountain of despair of stone and hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the genuine discourse of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day for all of God's children. Be able to sing with new meaning, my country's liberty. Sweet land of liberty of Piace. Land where my fathers died, land of pilgrims cry. From every mountainside, let freedom reign in America to be a great nation. This must come true. So let freedom reign. From the brokenest hilltops of America, let freedom reign. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom reign. From the highly Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom reign. From the SoCal Rockies of Colorado, let freedom reign. From the prairies of California. But not only that, let freedom reign from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom reign from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom reign from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom reign when we come. When we allow freedom reign, when we let it reign from every city, every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Let's stand and sing We Shall Overcome.